Welcome back to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into something pretty powerful, I think. It's this idea of the wisdom in letting go.
And finding strength in renewal.
Right, exactly. We're drawing insights from a really thoughtful piece by Pastor Jeong called The Grace of Letting Go and Renewal. And our mission really is to unpack how our physical selves, our emotional lives, and, our spiritual growth are all connected.
And how shedding things that just don't serve us anymore, can actually open up new doors.
Yeah, new possibilities. Okay, let's unpack this. So Pastor Jeong starts off with this, incredibly simple and relatable story. He talks about his wife, young Jay, who kind of gently suggests he should maybe part with some old shirts, medium size.
The ones that don't quite fit anymore.
Exactly, the ones that don't fit. Seems tiny, right?
Yeah.
But for him, it clearly sparked something much bigger, a deeper thought process.
What's fascinating here is that specific personal moment. It really does illustrate a universal truth, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, as time passes, as we grow and change, things that once fit us perfectly, maybe physically, like the shirts, or, emotionally, even spiritually.
Right.
They might just stop serving us well.
Right.
That old comfortable shirt becomes a sort of gentle nudge.
A reminder that growth means change.
Exactly. And sometimes, it means outgrowing things. It's a very accessible way into this whole conversation.
And I thought it was quite clever how he pivots from that literal wardrobe to the more abstract stuff in life. He points out this outgrowing idea applies directly to our spiritual lives, too.
Right. That we're often maybe subtly invited to release things. Habits, maybe?
Or roles we play, expectations we have, even ways of thinking that used to make total sense.
But now they might actually be holding us back.
So it's not about dismissing the past.
No, not at all. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the source is really clear on this. Our past is valuable. It absolutely shaped who we are.
Okay.
But the invitation, as he frames it, is to live fully right now in the present.
And look towards the future.
Yeah, lean into the future with hope. It's about making that distinction, honoring what was, but actively stepping into what is and what could be.
Instead of being stuck in the used to be.
Precisely. Not anchored by it.
That makes total sense for clothes. You try it on, it doesn't fit. Okay, easy enough. But what about those less tangible things?
Yeah. Beliefs, maybe old roles, aspirations that didn't pan out.
Right. Where do people typically get stuck when trying to let go of those things? It feels harder.
Oh, absolutely. I think often it's maybe the fear of the unknown or just the sheer comfort of familiarity. Even if that familiarity isn't, helping us grow anymore, it might even be limiting.
We cling to what we know.
We do.
Yeah.
Because stepping into something new, that takes courage. It means accepting some uncertainty.
So just recognizing those attachments is the first step.
Often the first and maybe the hardest step. Just seeing them for what they are.
And then Pastor Jeong shares something that, honestly, it made me pause, a kind of surprising science fact. He points out that apparently almost every single cell in our body gets replaced over about a year.
The cell turnover idea.
Yeah.
It underpins this whole concept.
It really does. And, while the exact timing varies a lot, skin cells go fast, gut lining too, but some brain cells are much, much slower.
Right.
The core idea holds. Our physical body isn't static. It's in this constant state of, dynamic replacement, renewal.
So our bodies are kind of programmed for it.
In a way, yes. So this raises an important question. If our bodies naturally do this incredible, continuous physical renewal, how could that maybe inspire a similar process for our, our inner selves, our spiritual and emotional lives?
Like it's a blueprint we can follow.
It suggests renewal isn't just some lofty goal, it's maybe an intrinsic process, something we can actually learn from and replicate.
Which ties in perfectly with that musician's quote he brings up.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Yeah. It's often seen as a bit of a cliche, maybe, but
it's powerful here. It really is. It reminds us of that ongoing cycle. Change is always happening. New beginnings are always possible, right? Regardless of what happened yesterday.
Makes you think about those spiritual drawers we all have.
Totally. Full of mismatched socks and old expectations we just hang on to.
Yeah.
So this really brings us to the core insight of Pastor Jeong's message.
Which is?
This invitation he extends. Check your closets, not just for clothes, but for those patterns, those attachments.
The ones that maybe no longer carry the light of the Spirit. as he puts it.
Exactly. It's like a deep spiritual inventory, something we maybe don't do often enough.
And the crucial reframe he offers is just so powerful.
But a bit about loss.
Yeah. Letting go isn't loss. It's making space for grace.
That changes everything.
It really does. It shifts the whole perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not about deprivation or, giving something up that feels valuable.
It's about opportunity.
Exactly. Creating opportunity, making room, actively making room for something new possibilities, growth, maybe a different kind of fulfillment.
It sounds so straightforward when you put it like that, but we know in practice, letting go feels, well, really difficult sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
Because those old patterns you mentioned, they get tangled up with our identity, don't they? Our comfort zones, our fears even.
For sure. They feel like part of us.
So honoring where we've been, like he says, living with presence and then walking forward with courage, that feels like a really profound journey.
It is.
So practically speaking, how might someone actually start to identify these unfitting patterns in their own life? Beyond the obvious stuff like the shirts.
Well, I think a great starting point is often just some quiet reflection. Really tuning in.
Like meditation. Or just thinking.
Could be either.
Yep.
Maybe asking yourself questions like, okay, what situations just consistently drain my energy?
Good question.
Or what beliefs am I holding on to that honestly don't really serve my growth anymore, even if they used to?
That's a tough one.
It can be. Sometimes it's a relationship dynamic, maybe a habit like perfectionism.
Or clinging to a past success.
Exactly. Clinging so hard, it stops you seeing new paths opening up. Journaling can be incredibly helpful here, too.
Getting it out on paper.
Yeah. Letting those quieter thoughts actually surface.
And to kind of place this whole idea of renewal in a bigger context, Pastor Jeong brings in some ancient wisdom, too. He references Ephesians.
Chapter 4, verses 22 to 24.
All right.
And that scripture, it directly reinforces everything we've been talking about. It shows this isn't some new fad. It's timeless.
What does it say, specifically?
Well, it talks about being taught to put away your former way of life. The old self.
The old clothes.
Metaphorically, yes. And then, crucially, to be renewed in the spirit of your minds.
Okay, a mental and spiritual shift.
Exactly. And it culminates in this really powerful image. Clothing yourselves with the new self, created according to the likeness of God.
Wow. So putting on the new.
Putting on the new. It clearly shows this whole concept, shedding the old, embracing the new, is, well, deeply rooted. A long-standing part of thinking about growth and spiritual evolution.
So wrapping up our deep dive today, the big takeaway seems to be that letting go, it isn't really about loss.
No, it's about courageous renewal.
Yeah, creating that essential space for growth, space for, well, grace to come into our lives. So as you listen to this, maybe take a moment to reflect on your own closet.
The physical ones and the metaphorical ones.
Exactly. The things, big or small, tangible or, deep inside, that might be ready to be gently released.
To make way for something new.
Yeah, to make way for newness. So here's a final thought to maybe mull over.
Okay.
What does this all mean for you? What possibilities might actually emerge if you decide, gently, courageously, to release something that just doesn't perfectly fit anymore?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you.